Lightning. I am your master, and you are the people of my creation. Rise now, and serve me and the world. Rise now.
Cool. So, welcome to Voin. Oh boy, it seems like this is a brand new indie game. A Dark Souls first person slasher. How cool does it sound? But there's some problems. As you can see, I am not recording this in real time, and the reason is apparently my mic was off during the recording. I don't know how, I don't know why, I just know it is, and I'm simply commenting like I don't know, a TV reporter. Anyway, I think it's a good thing. A whole new experience. So, what you're watching right now is the default tutorial. Here it teaches me how to play, how to fight, how to run, how to dash, as you can see. And if I say I didn't like this game, then I would be an absolute liar. This game is very cool, and you should definitely experience it for yourself. Although, don't try to experience it in this current build, because probably you're not going to see it in this video, but on the second part, which is going to be the last one of this game, I'd be pretty mad about this game, even though I say beautiful and interactive a lot of time. And this game really is. It's a beautiful game, even though it's not highly detailed or highly graphical. You know, the textures are not super real, as you can see. It has some of that old PS2 or 3 vibes, but game in total is cool. Is really cool. But it's still in the early access and it's being developed, and as a developer I can say that there are always some bugs, some things that a person, a tiny dev team, or even the large teams, the AAA teams, sometimes we don't know we couldn't guess what the problem is until we try it. You know, send it to multiple people, they try it out, they give us feedbacks. And my feedback for this game in total is it needs a lot of work. Certainly does. Most importantly, in the main adaptation of battles, the combat, and mostly the HP system, the health point system. Cause 4 hits and you die. That's not really a viable thing to experience. Anyway, let's end my yapping and let's explore the game. So, this game contains a variety of enemies. Some of them charge you, some of them are slow walkers, and I try to enjoy slashing them, as you can see. Sometimes I just, spam the button for small attacks and big attacks, heavy attacks. And sometimes I change the screen with my attacks, like I'm wielding a sword. For example, in this scene, you're probably going to see this. Wah! Or wah! Yeah! And that's the thing I said when these fights happened. Anyway, game is cool, it needs a lot of work, but it's really, really beautiful. Not gonna lie, it's absolutely charming. And in my opinion, a game being charming is a really good thing, but mostly as a developer or someone who plays video games in general, I probably prefer experiencing the main mechanics of the game instead of heavily just depending on the charmness of my video game of choice. Yeah, you could argue, and some of you probably comment down here that you like beautiful games that absolutely require no charms at all. You're totally right. For example, there are some incremental games, some idle games that require zero or nearly no effort to play. You know, you sit idle, you do another thing while just, grinding for resources or building stuff. And there are some storytelling games. Some of I forgot the genre. You probably know what I'm talking about. The CGI stuff, the romance, the ones that you just click next or previous or reload last save. What was that game called? There was a bit anime-like game that contains horror scenes, a mansion. I think it was cooking something, the game that there was some ingredients that talk to you, and then you turn it into a cannibalism. I think the right word is. You know, you eat your cooking companions. Oh, I just remembered. The name was Cooking Companions. Was it? I think so. And you know, that sorts of games that they're just. I think the genre is called visual games. Novel games, probably. You know, those games doesn't require you to do anything at all, except probably clicking some of buttons like choosing a choice, pre-made choice, blah blah blah. And cheers to you, and grab a sip of water while you're there, or perhaps tea or a bit of coffee. Anyway, and here you see, let's back to the game. There are 3 upgrades that we can use. Vortex, which I dash backward, and then with my sword pointing towards my targets, I lunge at them. Cool. Right? And another one is that Is it? Probably. The other one is that I reinforce myself with a bit of armor. And the third one is instantly recharge my sword. It's interesting that I don't see the launching one, but I think the first one is that I throw my sword and it does a vortex. I probably misunderstand the sequel of them. But anyway, in the right corner, the top right corner, as you can see, there is some currency which is called iCurve. It's a currency that we use for upgrading our person, our character, or our equipment. Under that, as you can see, there is a level system which every level increases all damage by 25%, and in the bottom of the level is the requirements, the currency requirements to level up. Pretty simple. And as you can see on the right down corner, I have my abilities 1, 2, 3, 4. I can kick just like as I did, and my ability, the vortex, if you see, is throwing my sword towards enemy and doing a spiral damage. Cool. I have 3 dashes and I cannot dash forever. Let me tell you a quick note. As a developer, I am really fascinated by how simple graphical this game is, even though it's, you think it's a very textured stuff from a far away, but when you see the walls or ceiling or pillars or anything else, flooring, when you're close, you understand that it's not really that impressive of graphic. You know, it's interestingly performance friendly because it's all just texture. You know, they are not just, I don't know, branches or holes on the ground or ceiling on walls or blah blah. They're just textures that look like a wall or like a hole or a bit of cavern or crack on the rocks. And that is quite interesting, you know, to put a lot of effort into creating such a floorings which are performance friendly and requires a less amount of, I don't know, triangles of graphic. I don't know what they are called. I forgot the actual name. But in the short terms, it's impressive. As you can see, there is two gates. One is called Hall of Reflections. The other one is the Purification Hall. I don't know, I forgot. And yeah, Molten Cathedral. The Molten Cathedral, as you can see, there are some bells hanging from ceilings. And if you touch this piece of thing, all of your corrupted equipment will be cleansed. You hear a cool bang, and your collected items will be saved forever. So when as you might ask me, what's a corrupted equipment? And let me tell you, a corrupted equipment is that when you pick up a sword or item or, I don't know, a necklace or ring, a heart, they are corrupted unless you extract yourself back to the original world and cleanse them just like you saw. And you can spend your ichors to upgrade the rarity of your stuff, your ring, your weapon, and such. These things that are in front of me and you are called, let's say, combiners, because that's pretty much what they do. They combine primeval, I don't know, I forgot. The next to the last tiers stuff, they combine, I don't know, your common, your rare, your pristine stuff together, and they upgrade that equipment to next levels. And when you finally maxed it out, you can upgrade to maxed next to the last level stuff. I know it's a pretty long thing, to the highest tier possible equipment. This gate that you're watching is a gate of reflection. It is used for upgrading your character. Remember when I said you have some acres and blah, use it to upgrade yourself? That's it. You collect some acres or acre and you go through this hall and you upgrade yourself. Cool. As you can see, this is a beautiful game and not heavily performance one. And yep, that's it for the main hub. There wasn't anything new, even though it's a cool place. There are some other halls that need probably going to be developed and added to the game in a later time. And let me tell you about the general idea of this game. These sky nodes are basically teleports. These red things in the middle is a regeneration sphere. It is used when you extract from worlds, and you heard me right. This is a first-person slasher extraction Dark Souls-like game. Cool. This is the kind of, you can set the difficulty, the toughness, the quantity of enemies, and you know how much elites there are. Cause in the next episode you're going to see the higher tier enemies. They are pretty much same as the low ones, but more armored, more higher health points, higher damage, higher attack speed, and a bit bigger. They're cooler. They have sort of new moves for themselves, but in my honest idea, that's the same. They are the same. In the beginning, I'm running normal quantity enemies, but for some reason, I changed it to the max level, and that's probably going to be for the next episode. I changed the toughness of them by 1, but I changed the quantity of them to the max. I mean, you see there's 2 or 1 group of enemies, you know, a single individual or 2 in a group. But when you change that quantity level to the max, there's ton, and I mean ton of them, like 7 or 8 or 9. They're still easy to kill, but oh boy, when you see the range dudes, and trust me, they were the pain in my ass. I've killed so many of them, and they was just so nerve-wracking. Because you see there is 4 hearts on the left side. You know, if you get hit 4 times, you die. And the game is showing us the interaction. You just look up to the sky and say, Zeus, send me a portal to home. I probably comment that in the gameplay as well. I will say it again when we reach that point. And yeah, those range piece of crap guys, they just hit you from far and you usually cannot avoid them. This map had some dungeons, but I think 2. Yeah, only 2. And once you loot chest, oh yeah, here's a quick note. When you loot a chest, you cannot loot it again. So guess what? You die, you lose, you know, it puts a gravestone on where you died, so you could just come back and collect those what you lost. But if you die for a second time, voila, you lost your items forever. So that is what I hate. That's what I hated on the second episode, which you're going to see it probably I don't know, tomorrow. I don't know when this is going to launch, but probably I'm going to upload them back to back. Anyway, so I was trying here to unlock a new ability, but as you can see, I didn't have a skill point. Yep. So this dude is a heavy dude, this dude is a normal dude. Nothing much. And these games lets you to explore. That's a two-sided dagger. It's pretty much, you know. Before I follow on that topic, let me finish this story on the range dude. Every time I freaking remember those guys, it pisses me off. It truly does. And it's not scripted or anything, it's just my personal freaking feeling. I'm really having headaches right now. And yeah, so those range guys, they hit you and bam, in a moment you're dead. Because there's usually 4 or 5 of them in a maxed out quantity group. And guess what? They hit you on the same time. They hit you, they start attacking you on the second they saw you. Yeah, this dude, this piece of shit, this range piece of shit. This is the person, not the person, the entity I was talking about. This crap of creation. This I really don't want to use bad words, but they are yep. And yeah, they hit you, you get hit, you lose a heart, just like that. You know, I just got hit and I lost a heart. You might say, oh, I have an armor, I could tank out damage, or I don't know. You know, I lose a half a heart. But no, every damage kills you. You know, there is no difference if you get hit from a boss. This is where I got scared. You know, this dude hits you, a boss hits you, a range dude hits you. Even the freaking weakest entities, like those who just walk and they're terribly slow and die with single hit. Even if they hit you, you lose a heart. And where's the fun in that? You know, I'm basically a weak cannon, a glass cannon. You know, every single hit I die, and the only way that you could recover heart is to attack enemies and slowly get a heart. Yep, that's it. So here's what we are at. There's different type of weapons. There is the Spellringer, there is a powerful mace, which is terribly slow. There are swords and daggers. Let's say 4 types of weapons and weaponry. Game is mostly circled around the lightnings. So if you want to build top synergy, you either have a lightning choice or a fire one. Oh boy. So if I start to not hitting those wastes, as satisfying that it is, if you see on my sword, you can see 4 symbols, and every every sword has its own quantity of symbols. Some have 3, some have 5, or even 4. So when you hit an enemy, one of those symbols gets charged, like a combo. But unlike the combos that you usually see, they don't go away after certain point of time. So you have also a third attack, normal attack, which it uses your ability, not the skill points, your weapons ability. For example, as you saw, it was a lightning attack for this particular sword. Every force attack charges see, there is one symbol charge. I don't think it's based on every normal attack, but I could be definitely wrong. I'm pretty sure it might be only heavy attack. Anyway, every few hits and you can use your ability. I mainly rocked with sword and a heavy hitter, like a mace. Maces do a lot of damage, but they're terribly slow. This is a chest, a secret one. They are found around the world, not a lot of them, and they just give you a second tier stuff, equipment. Anyway, I really had a blast with the feeling of I'm in a Dark Souls world, a medieval fantasy Souls-like game. And it's first person. I can hack, I can slash, I can dash, I cannot dodge. No, I cannot roll, but it's pretty fun. And there is 2 areas in this game, 2 levels, let's say. And every one of them has a boss fight. In this current build of the game that I'm playing, in every episode I kill a boss fight. Even though I killed the first boss fight in the second episode as well, on a much higher difficulty, because for some reason I thought this game was too easy. And guess what? I died numerous times. And I mean numerous times. I died so much that I'm having traumas remembering them. Oh. Anyway, let's stop wussing about it. Is that the right word? Anyway, so you kill the boss fight, it's completely fine, you can skip it for some reason, but there is another place that you can explore and unlock the second. As you can see, there is an orb over here, an orb that has a lightning beam out of it. Not lightning, but rather light beam. A beam of light. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. Also another note, even the same equipments, they might have a bit of different extra abilities. For example, these 2 dragon hand or head or Brad, I don't know, it's quite hard for me to see. So this one has execution perk, other one has, I don't know, flaming or might, or you guess it. So this orb is basically a fast travel that you can unlock on the world. But guess what? You cannot access it every time you please. Why? Why the hell? You put it over there if I cannot access it, I don't know, in the beginning, or I have to travel the whole map to just get to one anyway. Then why the hell I cannot access it? That's another, I don't know, bad point of this game. So as you can see, this is a quiet cathedral which contains the first boss. Yup, you can definitely see it right now. A red curtain leading to the main hall. Yup, that is definitely smell of a boss fight. I found a claymore, but if I want to guess, my personal preference was the berserker type weapons that are fast, not slow, cause every few and then you get 3 times damage per, you know. And the second weapon, or let's say my best, absolute best weapon of choice, was the bell ringer, which you're going to see more on the second episode. As you can see, there is a cool bridge leading to definitely a second boss fight, but no, I wouldn't call it a boss fight, but rather a mini boss fight. It was cool area, you know, seeing those witch type trees, dead, strange big trees, huge trees, and I had a blast. I had a great amount of time in this first episode. This first map was quite well made. It was easy to follow. It was easy to explore. The difficulty, the map design, the amount of you can explore was okay, and it wasn't a huge, terribly huge map, and I pretty liked it. So if I want to give a point for this episode, this first phase of the game, I would say a good 8 out of 10 point stars or a review, cause I really had a blast. As you can see, this is the bell ringer I was talking about, and it's the best. It's the best. You know, it's fast compared to the slow maces, and the ability is a crowd controlling thing. You know, it's the best for single targets and the, I don't know what you call a large crowd of enemies that swarms you. Let's do it without any further ado. Let's fight the first boss fight. Gnome the Summoner of Tears. Ooh. You know, just like that. You're not careful, you lost 2 hearts. And these spells are absolutely perfect. You know, let me tell you about the ability of this beautiful weapon, the bell ringer. As the name sounds, you ring your bells. Every few successful hits on your enemies spawns a bell. And if you hit a bell, which by the way you can hit them twice each one, and it does a aerial damage. You know, I spawned this large amount of spells and I use my skill points of doing a vortex around, and I hit every enemy in my surroundings. And it's not even a small quantity of damage. It's very good. You know, it's like I'm hitting multiple targets at once. The boss was pretty easy, in my opinion, the first time I encountered it. But on the second episode, it was hard. And I mean hard. You probably say, oh, that's easy, I can do it multiple times. But I just upped the difficulty by 1 bit. 1 single bit, and the boss fight was, I don't know, 20 times more difficult. And I died for, I don't know, 10 times, 50 times. I had to just run back here, get my stuff, and die again. And oh, yeah. You see? Another note about these pesky range dudes. They slap you. They definitely bitch slap you. They slap you with the back of their hands if you get too close. And they run away if you get too close. They always try to run away, shoot you if you get near to them. They slap you, and their slap loses you a freaking heart. The slap! I have enemies coming at me and hitting me with freaking axes. And then a bitch slap from a ranged dude is equal to damage of them. You're pretty a glass cannon. We deal a lot of damage, but we are made of glass. If they touch us, we die, we broke, we shatter into pieces. So if you use your fast and lightweight weapons, it throws them in a vortex sphere. But if you use heavy weapons, it does, a mad rolling move. So I thought there's probably multiple boss fights in this video game, and sadly I was wrong. But don't be sad, cause the second level was really good. As you saw, that was the roadmap of game. And some of you wanted to experience this video game right now. But as always, I wanted to give you a head up. Zeus, give me a portal! And just like that, a portal to base is small. This purple building is the last and only important thing in this level, cause it's the way that you unlock the second map, the second level. And let me say let's do some final commenting on this first episode. This game was truly beautiful. If you wasn't an exploring maniac like me, which you're going to see on the next episode. And let me tell you, the next episode was even more beautiful than this one. This map was small and you could say a bit boring, but the second one was 10 times the bigger. And it was enjoyable. At first. Anyway, we collected some ichors, we collected some equipments when I was yapping. So the thing you would do in this situation when you successfully extract is to go back and do a bit of operating. You have multiple choices. You could use your ichors, which you gained from killing and destroying enemies and bosses, to either upgrade your character by just hopping into this portal or cleansing your stuff. And I'm right here. If you see, I'm doing multiple stuff. And also a quick note, this is pretty cool. You know, it's like a ghost walking that you cannot interact. Anyway, here I was doing an outro saying I was going to cleanse my stuff, and we catch you on the next episode. So anyway, until the next episode and another yapping, bye bye. Whoa.